Good morning, everybody. We're about to head down to Garrett's shop and do a little bit of dyno tuning with the giveaway Tahoe. So, Killer Performance didn't have a whole lot of time to get some of the fine tuning stuff done, drivability and stuff like that. So we're gonna head down to the shop and just clean up everything, make sure everything's good, and make sure everything is safe, and that way you guys have a good run on truck. So we're gonna head on down and get that done, and then we're gonna come back here, get Moonshine out of the trailer, and see what all we gotta do. Alright, so we're just doing a little bit of a baseline, kind of get everything set up, make sure everything's working like it's supposed to, and then we'll start making some kind of power rips and go through everything. Make sure everything is happy. Alright guys, Jack Stand's over here getting all the fuel drained out of it so we can get the ethanol content up a little bit. Give this thing a little bit better dial. Everything looks good. I just played with some idle stuff because I said I had an issue kind of shutting off here and there, so cleaned up some of that stuff. We got to get a wideband in so I can double check the fueling, but everything else looks pretty good. Killer did an awesome job on this deal. It runs mint. Alright guys, we're going to end it off there. Made 638 horsepower, I believe. It is in fourth gear, so down in fifth gear, I probably made a little bit more. But everything looks good. Air fuel's money. Timing looks good. Ethanol content is good. So we're going to go drive this thing on the street, do some drivability tuning, make this thing nice for you guys.
Hey, we're going to do a little dig race. Alright, I'm going to count it off. You ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
right, guys, if you haven't already, head on over to CletusMcFarland.com. They got all the information for this Tahoe and the giveaway that they're doing on their website. LT4 supercharged, 10-speed automatic transmission, over 600 wheel horsepower, and $10,000 cash. This Tahoe was built by Killer Performance, and they did an amazing job. The install is super clean, weld wheels, lowering kit. This thing just sits perfect. The interior is mint. Super easy to get entered to win. All you have to do is head on over to CletusMcFarland.com, and every $5 you spend gets you one entry to win this awesome Tahoe. Head on over to the site, check out the merch. We got some fresh t-shirts on there. We got some fresh stickers, and we got some other new stuff on there, as well as everybody else's awesome merch that's on the site. So head on over there, check it out, pick you up a shirt, pick you up a sticker, get entered to win this awesome Tahoe. All right, that is going to do it for the giveaway Tahoe. Making good power, drives really nice. Throttle stays open, feels a whole lot faster than it did. So hop on over to CletusMcFarland.com. Every $5 you spend gets you one entry to win this dope Tahoe. So we're gonna be finishing up here. Gonna head back to my shop and get the motor out of Moonshine. See what we got going on there. All right, guys, we made it back to the shop. Tahoe turned out great. Whoever gets gonna win that thing's gonna be super happy. That thing's dope. But we got some other fish to fry. We gotta get this motor out. I'm gonna go ahead and I have a full stock long block. We're gonna tear that down to a bare block, tear this one down to a bare block, swap the blocks, kind of what we did back in September already. So we'll fix this block, but we'll start with a fresh block, get everything out, make sure everything's good, get it in the fresh block with multiple different head studs and all that good shit. So fresh block, and then we'll go ahead and probably time start these and fix everything here. We are also most likely going to top fuel hoop it this time. The only thing I'm waiting on is to be 100% positive that I can get a copper gasket. Kevin from KSR hooked us up with some top fuel hoops that he had, so I went ahead and bought those off him. Those will be here Monday, so you guys will probably see this Sunday. So those will probably be here tomorrow, but we just got to make sure we can get some copper gaskets, and we'll go ahead and just top fuel hoop this thing. Hopefully not have any other issues like that. But that's enough talking. I got to get to work. I got to get this thing out, get it on the stand, get that other one on the stand, get them both torn down. So let's do it. right, guys, got the motor out. It's on the stand, so we'll have to rip into it, get everything stripped down. We'll have to get the other block on the other stand. Then we can get them all apart. We'll set this back down on the ground, put the front end back on it, kind of move it out of the way for now, and get working on these motors. You get one side, I'll get one side. Doug can pull the jack up. 1, 2, 3. I got mine out.
Yeah, look how sturdy it is, though.
That's because my boy built a real nice jack. Yeah. Who needs a jack? Guys, I think we need to get us a spare motor. So if something like this ever happens again, we can just swap it at the track. It took all of like an hour to get out, if that. We could easily swap this if I had a spare one. Have to work on that. Alright, guys. Nothing looks bad in here. Rolls over good. Nothing looks broken. So we'll go ahead and pop number 1 out and check the rod. It looks good from here. But we'll go ahead and pop it out, check the rings, make sure none of that's pinched, and then we'll get the rest of it apart. Bearing looks good. Just barely taking the coating off a little bit. So that's a good sign. Means it didn't load the rod too hard. Yeah. Rings are good. Pistons mint. These things are tough. Yeah. Very nice. Crank looks mint. So the lower half looks good. The rod looks good. Doesn't look bent or anything. And none of the piston rings are pinched, so that is good. That means our pistons and rods are good. There's the other half of the bearing. Just barely taking the coating off. Looks like something went through it a little bit. Possibly. Some ghosting a little bit. But crank looks good. Rod looks good. Piston rings are not pinched, and everything looks good. So solid there. We'll get the rest of the way apart. I gotta get the main studs out of this block, and that way we can put them in that block and do a line hone. And then we gotta go to the 3800 bore, which is what these pistons are. New cam bearings, fresh set of rod and mains, put it back together. guys, I totally forgot to hit the record on the time lapse, but we're doing something else while the car's down. Our rear tires are like literally a piece of paper between the tire and the fender. So we're gonna go ahead and narrow the rear end. So I got the rear end out of the car. Thought I was time lapsing it, but apparently it wasn't. So I don't know if you can see in the camera. Now when I'm going on the track, it doesn't touch, but just cruising around the pits, both tires are just squeaking. So I needed to fix the leaky third member anyway because it was starting to drip. So we'll pull that apart, clean everything up. TJ is going to cut the ends off. We're going to narrow it about a ½ an inch on each side, and then we'll trim the axles and put it back together, slap it back in the car. That's the game plan, at least. We got the block all torn down for the motor that was in here. So as soon as I get done fiddling with this, maybe before that, we'll get the other block over, get that torn down also. This block isn't in bad shape other than the head studs, so I'm going to talk to John and see maybe if we can go ½ inch head stud on that thing and O-ring it and deck the block. Maybe it'll be all right, but we'll see what he has to say. I'll get them both torn down just in case, and either way, I'm going to get the other block prepped. So if we have something like this happen again, I got a block ready to go. I can swap everything into it, and or maybe see about putting a second short block together or something like that. I mean, I have a stock set of heads here, so I could probably put a full long block together, but we'll get to that. Alright, so definitely a good thing we're taking this apart because something is getting eaten up in there. So we're going to have to get this center section looked at. That's a lot of metal. Not good. But at least we caught it before it turned into something worse. So looking like it needs some bearings probably. But we'll look at the teeth and everything and maybe throw a set of bearings in this thing. Should be alright. Alright guys, our top fuel hoops showed up from Kevin. I'm working on getting some copperhead gaskets. Apparently nobody makes them for these, so I got somebody scanning the actual head gasket and then we'll send that off to whoever's going to make them. I don't remember the name of the company. Somebody at John has looking into it. So they said if we can get a scan, they can have them out 2-3 days. So that's the plan. Drop the head gasket off to them earlier. But that's going to do it for this video. I'll be back with you as soon as I got some good news. Did talk to John about the block. We're going to use the other block to start over fresh and then go from there. So going to get all that stuff done. We got a couple weeks to get it back together and back in the car. So rear end's getting narrowed. We'll get that repowder coated because the powder coat looks horrible now. And we'll get the motor back together, slap it back in the car. But I appreciate you guys watching. As always, stay tuned. We'll see you in the next episode.